some of you may find this next part graphic. You may have a weak stomach.
The way you just said that made me think some of you may die.
But that's a
Some of you may not make it out of this story alive.
We're gonna have a virtual waiver for you to
it's a
something, but
chance
you might
I'm
not make
willing
it
to
out of
take.
here.
So the thing is, dear listeners,
Good evening.
Good evening.
I saw your card. You have a room to let?
Yeah, yeah. Ma! Just a minute. Won't you come in?
There'll be food and drink and ghosts, and perhaps even a few murders.
welcome to Bayou Channel Zero. Today we're talking about the Axeman of New Orleans. Ooga booga booga. Yeah. So today we have myself, Alec, Joris, Lionel, Nick, and Justin. Woo! Yeah! Yeah! So buckle up. It's actually gonna be a very very long episode, very detailed, you know, and you know,
Details out
Yeah.
the wazoo.
get
That's what we
yourselves
need.
get
That's what we
yourselves comfortable.
Look,
I'm
We're
so
gonna-
happy you decided to take the time and like
we're gonna let the people know.
put the effort into
Put
the
the effort
research.
into your
Oh, yeah.
details. Because the
Dude.
last time you did an episode, it just said
Justin
the
set
root
the
got root. That was
standards,
it.
and now that's what we have to abide by.
Meteorologists will really appreciate this.
Yeah, yeah.
But he got the dew
Without
point
it.
on the night of the murders and all.
That's
Absolutely.
fine. That's what we need.
Yeah.
Because last
Dew
time
point.
he didn't even know the name of the person he was talking about.
Sweet Maria.
I need to see if they have the water in the some
A
nut
whole
butter.
jar of peanut butter.
Our story begins in the 1900s with the Italian immigrants settling down in New Orleans. Turmoil amongst the occupants of New Orleans between the Italians and Louisiana residents. Thank you.
ASMR.
ASMR.
Presented by Bayou Channel.
Okay, please continue. I am done being a child.
No, you're not.
I'm not.
I am not done.
So
I'm not done.
I am not.
there was a lot of turmoil between the Italian immigrants and the people of New Orleans. Like, to the point that they were literally like burning down their businesses, treating them like second-class citizens, stuff like that. No, I'm serious. Like, dude, this is after, you know, the slaves were freed and stuff like that. They literally saw the Italian and Sicilian immigrants as lower than slaves.
Wow.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Yeah. So it's honestly one of the lesser talked about things in Louisiana history, you know, especially the discrimination against them. And
Papa the poopy.
And-
That's bad for business.
in 1891 there were actually 11 public lynchings of Italians.
Damn.
Jeez.
You know, like they literally went into these Italians' homes, dragged them out, and hung them up in the streets. You know, over. Now get this. It was
good enough.
Meatball wrestling.
it was due to 11 Italian men being accused of killing a sheriff and then being acquitted of it. They were accused of it because there was this racial stereotype of Italians all being part of organized crime. You know, so that's the weird part. None of them actually killed the sheriff. None of them. But they still hung them and left their bodies up there to literally rot.
Damn.
You know.
It's wild.
That's
Rough
phenomenal.
times.
Yeah. So that's the thing.
Great
like,
culture.
Italians were stereotyped to being affiliates of the crime syndicate, but not every Italian is related to Don Carlo or Lucky Luciano, and you know,
What do you mean?
Getting.
Not every Sicilian's related to Carlo Marcellus. You know, I'm positive.
did you
I'm
do
not
your
related to
research?
him. Yeah,
But
I'm
you
not
have
related
drink
to
out of
him.
his glass. Hey,
Yeah, shout out to Andre. You know, but I would like to cover Carlos Marcello, especially his story, because he has a very interesting story. I respect the hell out of him, you know, especially with what he did. But, you know,
Yeah, we definitely need
that's-
to.
That's for another time. So in the 1830s, predominantly, Italians were taking all the work that the freed slaves were no longer doing. So working in sugarcane fields, working in cotton plantations, you know, all of that stuff, doing the down and dirty work for extremely cheap, you know, because they just came fresh off the boat. None of them know English, you know, so they're taking whatever work that they could take. And I like to call this one the Parmigiana Pasta Panic. You know, so the Parmigiana Pasta Panic of Louisiana, it's literally the mistreatment of Italians and Sicilians being, you know, taken out and stuff like that, sent to jail for all these crimes and stuff. In Tallulah, Louisiana, to be specific, Tallulah, Louisiana, there were 4 Italian men who were publicly hung because they were accused of killing a doctor's goat. No burial. Yes. No burial, no nothing. You know, they were just strung up, you know, because they were, you know,
Supposedly.
accused of killing a goat.
Supposedly.
Yes. So some would consider this,
Now,
you
you
know.
know they had some kind of little committee thing going on.
Oh yeah,
It
100%.
gotta be them damn Italians.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, my milk spoiled in the ice box. Oh, the damn
You know,
Italians
The
again.
damn Italians are at it again.
And that's
Allegedly.
yeah, and that's the thing.
No, I
like,
know. I
Dude,
know they
it,
are.
it was literally like a tavern owner. Okay, he had a personal vendetta against all these Italians and all, and he incited a riot.
Against the Italians.
Incited a riot to the point that the whole town formed a lynch mob, and they went into the central grocery store that the Italians would meet up in, and they drug all 4 of those men out and strung them up in the street. Broad daylight.
Wow.
Yeah, broad daylight. The cops didn't do anything because, like I said, Italians were viewed as second-class citizens. You know. And it's crazy. That happened in 1899, dude. You know.
Not that long ago.
No.
No, really not that long ago, you know, and that's the craziest part, is that it's kept out of the public eye, it's kept out of history, you know.
You wanna
So-
speak into the mic next time?
let's move forward. Let's move forward to 1910. Okay. So $1910. Okay. So we're moving forward to 1910. Now the Axeman of New Orleans is still, to this year of 2025, that's whenever we're recording this, you know, he still has not been caught.
Oh.
Nobody knows who this person was.
No, like he still has not been caught. It's still an unsolved mystery full of speculation of, well, maybe it was this guy, maybe it was that guy, maybe it was mob affiliated.
He was the best guy around.
What about the people he murdered?
What murder?
You know, maybe the people who were maimed and killed and stuff like that, maybe they owed money to the mob, you know, and it just so happened to be a bunch of Italian grocers, you know, at the time of still having that discrimination against Italians, you know. So another weird thing about it is that there's also an occult aspect to this, and I'll get to that later, but just keep that in the back of your heads. There is an occult aspect
Love
to
that.
it, like spooky dooky, you know, ooh, it's a ghost, you know, that kind of thing. So the letter there was a letter that the Axeman wrote, and it was published in the Times-Picayune. Whenever the time does come, I'll read it to y'all. But it was published in the Times-Picayune on March 16th, 1919, Lionel.
There it is.
There it is.
You know?
Tales.
And the thing is, on
love
that
to hear
day,
it.
Yep.
on that day, the high for that day was 84 degrees Fahrenheit.
Perfect.
The low was
Oh.
67 degrees Fahrenheit, and
That's great.
there was a 0.00% chance of precipitation. It began in the dead of night, as most crimes literally do, unless, you know. you're
Honestly,
weird.
at 68 degrees, I'd do that too. Be nice outside.
Picture it.
Be great.
Gaslit New Orleans streets, the low hum of fireflies, you know, fluttering in the night, and the trot of horses.
I need my peanut butter for that.
Okay.
A little every now and then.
The
imagining it.
trot of horses carrying buggies to their stable for the night. We find ourselves looking in on one house in particular. That would be the home of Joseph Maggio. Age upon death was 41 years. Son of Vincina Verdi Maggio. She as well as Joseph are buried at St. Louis Cemetery number 3 in New Orleans, Louisiana. Joseph was at home with his wife, Catherine Maggio. Age upon death was 36. She is joined with her husband and mother-in-law at... Can you guys guess what cemetery?
The cemetery in New Orleans, number 3.
Pay attention.
Number 3.
St. Louis Cemetery number 3 in New
Yeah, that one.
Orleans.
That's what I said.
In Orleans Parish, Louisiana.
You didn't say that.
Do you have the zip code?
No, because it doesn't say it on the cemetery. Find a grave. So with that being said, Joseph and Catherine were both Italian grocery store owners. This is very important, you know. So they were both very important Italian grocery store owners. But there is some speculation whether they owned 100% of the grocery store or 7%. So each one of
Yeah.
So that's the weird part with all the research that I did, especially in old newspapers, books, stuff like that. There was never really a clear percentage of how much they actually owned of the grocery store or if they were working for somebody. You know, so that's why I put that.
I guess they were the
100%.
main two that were running it.
Yeah, pretty much. You know, so anyways, these are conflicting. So for the sake of the argument, they own the groceries.
Right.
You know. Which was also a bar, and it was located at 4902 Magnolia Street at the corner of Upper Line and Magnolia, to be precise.
As you should.
In their home, they slept as the Axeman lurked in the outside garden, looking for his entry into the house. So the Axeman actually got into this house, which was on top of the grocery store. Okay, so it was like an apartment. Got into the apartment. Okay. So he found his entry into the home on the evening of May 23rd, 1918. You ready for the next part?
You have the weather, please?
Yes.
Perfect. Thank you. I can't fully experience it without it.
It
I want
was
this to be a 4D experience.
on that night. It was 66 degrees Fahrenheit
Oof.
with a 0.1% chance of
0.1.
precipitation.
Ooh, slight chance of
0.1.
rain.
Slight chance of rain.
The
The
slightest.
humidity,
Yeah, yeah.
93%.
Good.
Ooh, that's
Some
low.
would
That's
say-
low for here.
Some would say muggy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gross.
Sensational.
Nice, nice, nice.
Spooky, if you will.
Yeah.
The Axeman.
Was there fog?
Hold up, I'm getting to
Oh,
it.
you getting
There was fog.
Oh, nice.
Okay. So
Oh, very Axeman-y.
exactly. So the Axeman struck his deadly blow to both Joseph and Catherine. Now, dear listeners, some of you may find this next part graphic. You may have a weak stomach.
The way you just said that made me think of some of you may die.
But that's a
Some
chance.
of you may not make it out of this story alive.
We're gonna have a
All right.
virtual
Chance
waiver
I'm
for
willing
you
to
to
take.
something because you might not make it out of here.
So the thing is, dear listeners,
Take us there.
the following details that I'm about to give you, some of you may find it upsetting. You know, it may upset your stomachs. It is, you know,
Take a sip real quick.
kind of wild.
Take
So
us there. We're in your pockets.
Let's go.
the couple slept. The Axeman crept his way into the apartment.
What's out of the bed?
It doesn't say in the description provided by the Times-Picayune.
So see, I need to talk to them because that detail is very
Exactly.
important.
Yeah.
So that's over 100 years
It's
ago.
who he
so
killed first.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Sick.
It's important.
Sick.
So he crept his way into their apartment. Walked ever so quietly. Some would say that he took off his shoes, you know, just to be even more quiet. Because you know, at all houses, you could hear somebody's
Yeah.
footsteps.
And it's to be respectful. You always take
Yeah.
your shoes off.
Of course. So he crept his way into their apartment and walked ever so quietly into their bedroom with get this, their garden axe in his hand.
Oh,
He did
So-
not use his own weapon.
pretty smart.
He used their garden axe.
That
He
actually-
also wore leather gloves,
What size?
medium. Some would say.
Yeah.
Average.
Pretty common.
Very
size.
average.
Yeah, very average size.
Anyways, Lionel, the Axeman made his way into the Maggio's bedroom and then proceeded to slice their necks open with a straight razor.
Hmm.
So you would think, I know. Hold up. I know. Slice their necks open with a
He's
straight
not
razor.
Razor Man. He's
Yes.
Axe.
Exactly. That's the weird part about it. Okay. So he ended up slicing their necks open with a straight razor. But that isn't the most shocking part. Joseph's laceration was essentially cut and dry, for lack of a better term, you know, not just because, you know. So it was pretty cut and dry. Now, Catherine, poor Catherine, her head was almost decapitated with the sheer amount of force that the Axeman used whenever he slit her throat.
Jesus.
Yes. So literally her head was only being held together with the tendons going on her spine.
You know how much force you have to
That's
do
a
to
lot of-
cut that?
Oh, I know.
Especially
dude
with,
was
like
pissed.
a straight razor.
Believe me, I know.
So
And if that wasn't enough, the Axeman then proceeded to swing and make contact multiple times with his axe. Not
he
with
did
the,
use the axe.
not with the blade side,
Oh,
with the back side.
oof.
With the back side of it, the blunt
Mhm.
side. Yes. So
he asked her to prom and she said,
Had to be.
now some speculations say that the reasoning for using the axe was to conceal the wounds that were inflicted upon Joseph Maggio and Catherine Maggio. But there's only so much that you could do to conceal someone nearly being decapitated.
Yeah, really. I mean, you
Right.
can't really hide
You
that.
know, yeah, exactly, and that's kind of the thing.
I think she was almost decapitated.
Yeah,
but these
but-
blunt forces to the forehead.
That's what did it right there.
I think that's how
That's
it
what
happened.
did it.
May have been a hammer.
Yeah.
We all
yeah,
know, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He used a piece of string and he choked her.
So surprisingly enough, Joseph Maggio survived the attack.
Huh?
Yeah.
Goodness.
So it wasn't so cut and dry.
No. Now I'm gonna get to that part. So Joseph Maggio, surprisingly enough, survived the attack just long enough to be discovered by his brother Andrew Maggio. Okay. So Andrew Maggio, age upon death was 83.
Long
And-
life.
Yeah, and he was buried at
St. Louis.
wrong Metairie Cemetery in New Orleans,
Close.
Louisiana.
What plot?
They do not specify that because sometimes with the victims of cases like this, they won't tell you exactly where
Yeah.
they're buried at.
Yeah, that
Just the
makes sense.
cemetery in general.
Yeah.
You know.
That's
So-
the only information I condemn
Mhm.
being lacked.
As
You
well as well as Joseph's other brother. I'll just call him Jake Maggio.
Mhm.
That was his nickname. Jake
Okay.
Maggio.
I'll allow it.
Age upon death was 88, and he passed on the 26th of October, 1969. Okay.
Nice.
He was also buried at
That one you said.
which one?
The second one.
The second one.
The second one.
The latter.
Wrong. St. Louis Cemetery number 3 in New Orleans, Louisiana.
This test is hard.
Yeah. Catherine actually died shortly after Jake arrived. So, she didn't die. Like, she wasn't immediately dead. So you could just about imagine
She was
her-
still alive.
She's in the bed,
Bruh.
dude, just like,
So,
you know.
so she got woken up by almost being decapitated,
Oh, yeah.
then beat with the back end of an axe, and
Still
still
alive.
survived. Even if it was 30 seconds after that dude left.
Oh,
Really though.
That's
hold up, buddy, because I'm about to get into it. As I mentioned before, her throat was being cut so deep that her head was nearly severed from her shoulders. Okay? Like, literally being cut here. Not here.
not even on the neck.
Here.
Right here.
From your trachea going up.
He
So
had-
he had to go through the collarbone.
He had a
Bro, it
vendetta
is.
against her.
I mean, that's crazy.
I know. You know? And
I didn't know it was a straight razor. He didn't just slam the axe into.
Nope. And in the apartment, New Orleans' finest. New Orleans' finest, Justin.
I'm sorry, I've been up since 4 o'clock.
It's okay. New Orleans' finest. The greatest that New Orleans has ever known. NOPD, buddy.
Sure.
The same people that can't keep the prisoners in jail.
They also can't catch a serial killer. Anyways. New Orleans' finest.
They can't catch a normal murderer, more or less a serial killer.
Oh, wait. You'll love this. Their investigation squad, everything.
I feel like
this is gonna be one.
feel
of
like
those
they're.
stories.
I
Yes,
feel
it
like
will.
they're about to say her cause of death is something that's off the wall.
Hot dog squad.
No, it's definitely a hot dog squad kind of thing. So New Orleans finest found the body up there, started investigating, and they found a pile of bloody clothes. So the Axeman was smart in that in 2 instances. Okay, he used their axe from his victim's gardens, and he changed his bloody clothes so that as soon as he made his escape, he just looks like a regular bystander.
And he took
You
his
know?
shoes off, so his shoes.
But
don't
he
have-
made one
No
fatal
bloody
flaw.
Footprint.
And they
What
got
was
leather
that?
gloves.
He left the
no
bloody
fingerprints.
clothes. Did he? Is that what you was referring
Oh
to?
yeah, he left bloody clothes, but you got to think at this time
There was no
There's no
testing.
forensic.
Right. There's no testing.
there's no
So-
forensics. Exactly.
Not like it mattered. They would have messed it up anyway.
Yeah, you probably. Right.
Yeah. So the investigators ended up finding the bloody clothes of the murderer, which this in fact is the smartest thing that he had done, changing his clothes before he left the apartment. But one thing that stumped the officers was that the Axeman left the money and the valuables there. Like, just left them there. He didn't steal anything.
He was just there for murder.
He was there for
Exactly.
the thrill.
Like, dude, literally, you could have $200 on the counter there. Somebody that's breaking into your house, they're gonna take valuables.
Yeah.
You know, unless they have something personal against you.
I mean, if you look at any serial killer in history,
Mhm.
they don't go in your house looking to steal stuff.
Mm-mm.
They'll
Right.
steal your life, but that's about it.
They're not a serial thief.
Absolutely.
They're a
So,
serial killer.
sadly, for the Maggios, a complete search of the premises was not completed by the police because, like I said in the prologue, Italians were viewed as late as 1918 as second-class citizens. They didn't care. The cops didn't care. You know, like, here's just 2 Italians that are dead. Who cares?
It's a shame.
You know?
What you're saying is
There's a reoccurring theme with the killings that happen in New Orleans.
and they could have found the guy.
I mean,
they
at
probably
least
could have
serial
also not
killers.
cared.
Yeah. So this is the thing. All right. They found the razor later on in one of the neighbors' lawns. They found it there. Like, the Axeman would have literally just threw it in the.
He was like, "Oh shit, I forgot." I had
Yeah,
to-"
yeah, yeah. Oh, my bad.
Let me get rid of that.
So Andrew Maggio, like I said, was the brother of Joseph Maggio, as well as being their neighbor in their to their apartment. So he was almost adjacent to their
wow.
apartment. Now you may be asking yourself, where was Andrew Maggio while all this happened? You know, you would hear somebody swinging an axe You know, you would hear people gurgling on their own, you know, bodily fluids and stuff like that. You would hear that.
Yeah.
Especially if you're only like a door away from somebody. You know?
And I mean, that had to be a lot of blood. So you would
Oh,
hear
absolutely.
the blood
yeah.
dripping.
Yeah. So, this is the thing. Andrew Maggio, during the time of these crimes, he was out drinking to celebrate his upcoming departure to join the Navy and failed to hear the intruder right across the hall. Failed to hear him. And that's the thing. That's his whole alibi, is that he went out, he got drunk because he was celebrating that he was going to the Navy. He failed to hear the intruder. They ended up taking him in because they interviewed some of the neighbors, and the neighbors recalled earlier that week that Andrew wanted to get a straight razor sharpened. So that pinned Andrew as the prime suspect as killing not only his brother, but killing his sister-in-law too. Okay?
Did he actually join the Navy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine
Yeah.
if he wouldn't have joined the Navy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I was celebrating me joining the Navy and then never go.
So this is the thing. They took him in. They arrested him. They interrogated him. They released him the same day.
But he got nothing.
No. No, due to lack of evidence and
Yeah.
Andrew Maggio being drunk.
Yeah, dude would just blame say he didn't hear
Yeah.
that.
You
Yeah,
think
exactly.
the Axeman planned that?
Maybe. And that's also the
Could be.
thing. Like, the
What if-
neighbors also reported seeing a mysterious man lurking outside of people's houses and stuff like that. You gotta think, this is like early 1900s, you know, 1918.
Do you have when he joined the Navy?
No, I don't, because that's
It's
not
not important.
recorded documentation.
Well, I
Not
was just wondering.
important.
No. I was wondering because what if he's the Axeman?
It's possible, but you
It's
would
possible.
assume
You know
you
what
would
I'm saying?
assume somebody that's celebrating joining the Navy is leaving shortly.
Soon.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I
Maybe.
know, guys, that was a lot, but I have a lot more to get into.
But I wonder why the woman got so much worse than.
Yeah,
Was
I
she
don't
like
know.
the storefront person?
That's the
like-
thing. It doesn't. The research that I didn't really go into their personal lives too
Yeah.
much. It just gave the general story of what happened. And I wish that I could give you guys that information.
No, I mean
but,
that's good, but
you know,
It is something.
it's crazy.
yeah.
Because the amount. if
dude,
for
the sheer brutality.
Yeah.
of that.
Yeah.
For him to go to the dude, just just slit his throat, then he's done. But then for her to go from the shoulders all the
Oh,
way
yeah.
through
And
then
literally
beat
just
her with the
be
back of the
being held on by her spine and
Yeah.
tendons. You know, like you laying back like that, clear cut, coming to here.
Yeah.
You know, with a straight razor.
then
You
just to-
literally sawing with
Yeah.
that.
then just to beat her with the axe.
So
He had a vendetta against her.
that's
for
the
sure.
thing. Keep that in mind, because a lot of people and a lot of theories say that the Axeman was a mob hitman,
Yeah.
just because of the brutality and
Yeah.
how well it was pulled off.
But you would
Could
think
be.
he would be brutal towards the men, not the women.
I mean, if,
You know?
if the women was, the mob had something against the women or the
Mm.
woman, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, and it could be that she was the one that borrowed the money from
Yeah.
the mob.
Could've
That's
been,
the thing.
Yeah.
You know? So the thing is, like I said, I know that that was a lot of information, but that was one of the bigger victims. Was
Mhm.
them, Joseph and Catherine Maggio. Okay, but anyways, I digress. So let's continue to the second attack. Committed by the Axeman, it occurred in the early morning hours of June 27, 1918. Okay. The temperature was a high of 83 degrees Fahrenheit and a low of 78 degrees Fahrenheit with a precipitation chance of 0.68.
Wow.
Okay.
You sure this is Louisiana?
It is. I'll look back at it. Anyways, the victims of the second attack was Louis Besmer and Harriet Lowe. Now, before I continue with this, you guys are about to be taken on quite possibly one of the wildest rides for a true crime case at the time besides Jack the Ripper. with
wow.
the things that happen and what transpires after the attack. Okay.
I love roller coasters.
Oh, it's wild.
Put us all on the bus.
Let's
Let's
go.
take a ride.
Both of these people survived the attack.
What?
Oh shit.
Yes. Both of them survived the attack.
But they had some troopers back in the day. Was somebody surviving, getting their heads sawed off, and then you got these two guys that's surviving?
Absolutely. So the thing is, Lewis, the man, ended up sustaining a skull fracture, and Harriet suffered permanent paralysis on the left side of her face just because of the blows that were, issued. The crime itself played out similar to the first crime committed by the Axeman, like I said, during the early hours of June 27, 1918. Lewis and his mistress, not his wife, his mistress, he did have a wife. In most of the retellings of this case, they leave out and omit the name of the wife.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Imagine,
Out of respect.
Imagine that's how you find out your husband's cheating.
Oh, I know, right?
He was almost brutally murdered.
Yeah.
With another woman.
So Lewis and Harriet were in Lewis's private quarters at the back of Besmer's grocery store. Yet again, Italian grocer. Big surprise. I know. Besmer was struck with a hatchet above the right side of his temple, which I'd venture to say caused the skull fracture.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the Axeman moved on to Lowe, like literally whopped him, and with the backside of the hatchet, not the blade part. Remember that. Okay. So ended up turning to Lowe and whopped her, okay, on the side of her face, which caused it. Side of the face, left side of her face, whopped off a chunk of her ear too with it. Chunk of the ear gone, caused paralysis on the whole left side of her face. So similar to like a stroke victim and stuff like that, like just constant drooping on the left side of her face. The couple was then discovered the following morning alive, but severely injured. Okay. It was actually the bakery driver that found them. So every morning, John Zanka, he was the bakery driver. He would go and deliver the baked goods. So in Lewis's grocery store, he would, bake goods. John Zanka would go deliver them. He was the one who found the couple the following morning on his way to make his daily deliveries.
Oh, so this happened in the store, or there's another apartment?
So it's a private quarters in the back of the store.
Okay.
Yeah. So in the back of the store, it's where he ended up finding him. This is very interesting to me, is the fact that the Axeman has used not only one, but two of the victims' axes. A hatchet is considered, short axe. So used two axes that belong to the victims.
Man's Kratos.
Is there any particular reason why he's using the back? Because he is yet to use the blade yet.
Nope. I guess just
use a hammer, bro.
Absolute carnage.
The blunt man.
Yeah, because
the blade's not enough.
Yeah,
you can use a hammer at this point. It would do the same damage.
Absolutely. But how much more terrifying would it be to be called the Hammer Man?
Yeah, I mean,
it sounds like a Mega Man character. Hammer Man.
Hammer Man.
Hammer Man.
Yeah.
I don't think he was really worried about the nickname they were gonna give him.
Yeah, probably.
But what if he was? What if he's like, I'm going to be known from this? I need to pick a good weapon.
Yeah.
So
Axeman sounds sick. Sounds awesome.
After being found by John, New Orleans' finest, yet again, were alerted as to what had happened. So investigators interviewed Lewis, and he stated that he had been sleeping when he was attacked by the hatchet. Almost immediately, police turned their attention as well as arrested Louis Obacan.
I was waiting for you to say that they arrested him.
No. Now, as I stated before in the prologue, that Italians and Sicilians and African Americans were seen as second-class citizens at the time. And as you could guess, Mr. Lewis was one of the three. He was an African American. And the thing that upsets me about this is the only suspicion that they had was that he was hired a week before the attacks. That's why they were suspicious of him. He was hired a week ago. We suspicious of him. You attacked him.
Is that really why it was?
I'm serious. Like, I am
Or was it
serious.
something else?
Each one of the accounts for this crime, like I told y'all, this one's wild.
Yeah.
Compared to the rest of them, the accusations that come out are wild. Okay? There's only one more after this. There's 11. We're on number 2. But there's one more after this that's even more ridiculous.
Jeez.
It's just like pure stupidity.
Yes.
Like racist.
Oh, absolutely racist.
It's like they have no idea what to do right now.
NOPD is a police office, and they're not good at a whole lot, but
Police things.
they definitely know how to be NOPD. Nothing else.
So, and that's the thing. Like I said, that's literally the only suspicion that they had for him. He was just a 41-year-old African-American man who was hired a week ago. That's it. That's the only suspicion. So, he was the only one who knew his own whereabouts, but that's just semantics, honestly. Mr. Lewis was then released the following morning due to, yet again, New Orleans' finest not having sufficient evidence to hold him there. Now, here comes everything after that. Harriet Lowe later recalled the assailant being a man of mixed ethnicity, which for the sake of this show, I will not say the word that she called him at all, because it's not the word that you're thinking of. There was another term that they use for people of mixed ethnicity, and I'm just not going to say it because it is very offensive. So they used that back then because it was very offensive, but I digress. The investigators then dismissed Harriet's claim, stating that she was in a disoriented state and in no way, shape, or form capable enough to give sufficient evidence. Just like the first scene, the investigators speculated it being a robbery gone wrong, but they were dismissed whenever they saw that the money and the valuables were not touched, nor were they taken from the scene. You had hundreds of dollars just sitting there and nothing was taken. Jewelry, not taken. Anything else that you would find valuable, none of it was taken.
This is just starting to sound like just a hit.
Yeah, exactly.
And on all the Italian grocery stores.
That's the thing.
And the crazy part is, it could not even be the same person.
Yeah.
It's all hits.
Crazy.
It could be,
yeah.
You said 11. It could be 11 different people doing it.
Exactly. It could be 11 different people doing it. It could be a whole mob. But I know you guys think that I left something important out. But I was saving y'all favorite part. I will save it for the end of Lewis and Harriet's story. So, to continue.
Is it the longitude and latitude of the story?
Hold up. So to continue, Harriet became not only the ringleader, but the center of the absolute media circus that transpired after this attack. She constantly made not only scandalous, but false claims about who did it, and about the character of her Matu. Matu is the French word of the day. Okay? Matu, to my explanation of it, is your boyfriend. That's your Matu.
Oh, big tomcat.
Yeah.
Yeah, big tomcat.
Exactly. That's your Matu. So Matu, boyfriend. Anyways, if I'm wrong, please comment. Please comment, tell me an explanation of Matu. Now, some of these claims Harriet made were as fantastical, such as Lewis being a German spy. Yes. Lewis
like
being a
throwing
German
stuff
spy.
at a dartboard and just picking whatever,
Yeah.
What's a German spy? Oh, he went to the moon. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Lewis being a German spy because she found letters in his possession in foreign languages.
Picking out of a hat.
What is he? I know.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So that's kind of the thing. At that time, a lot of foreign immigrants coming in. Maybe it was somebody who was selling groceries too. Could have been letters to his mom,
This
That
is
kind of
America, damn it. We speak American.
Apparently, we're right American too. So that's the thing, she accused Lewis of being a German spy. Then Lewis was arrested again. Okay? And then they released him again because they found literally zero proof of him being a German spy.
No.
Well, of
shit.
course.
Exactly my point. So then Harriet was arrested because of all of her false claims. And then she was released.
This is like a cartoon.
Oh, I know.
This sounds like one of them over the top. You just like, there's no way this is real.
No, it's
Yeah.
real. It is
didn't know what they're doing
100%
right
real.
No.
It's about to get even more weird.
Oh god.
Yeah, so by then, after she got out of jail, she was on her deathbed because following a failed surgery, it went wrong, you know, in which she claimed that Lewis was the Axeman. Yet again. Claimed that Lewis was the Axeman, and then after she died, like I said, Lewis was arrested for her murder and served 9 months in prison and then was acquitted on May 1st, 1919. And get this, how many minutes do y'all think it took for the jury to come to a conclusion that he wasn't guilty? Minutes.
10 minutes.
Motherfucker, you read that. 10 minutes, yes. 10 minutes to say that he was not guilty. Anne Harriet Lowe passed away on the 5th of August, 1918. She was 28 years old. This is not an old woman with dementia or anything like that. This is a 28-year-old.
28-year-old Karen.
Yeah, pretty much. She passed away on the 5th of August, 1918. She was 28 years old, and her gravesite information is not available. I literally cannot find it anywhere because she has a very common person last name. You know? So she passed away on the 5th of August, 1918. She was 28 years old. Her gravesite, like I said, the information is not available. Louis Besmer's obituary, as well as grave location, is not available through the search and multiple searches that I've done. Countless sites, newspapers. I can't find it. I cannot find when this man died. If he ever died, he might be a vampire. I don't know. You know,
Vampires.
it might be. You know, so he ended up dying way later on, or maybe right after. I have no idea. But Lewis was literally released 9 months from prison. After 9 months in prison, and the temperature after he was released. Okay, 81 degrees Fahrenheit was the high, and 60 degrees Fahrenheit was the low for that day. Yeah, with a 0.00.
It's a lovely time of year right now.
Chance.
It is.
Yeah, 0.00% chance of precipitation. Also, the wind direction was coming from the
south.
Yes, coming from the south. Well, I know. Please take notes. There will be a test.
Yep.
Thank you.
Was he released in the morning or the afternoon?
Morning.
Oh, nice.
Yep. 6 a.m. So next we move on to the following victim, a one Anna Schneider. Again, another victim who I could not find an obituary for, considering the commonality of her name, but I'll digress. The Axeman struck again on August the 5th, 1918, and his victim was, like I said, Anna Schneider. She was 28 years old, and at the time of the incident, she was 8 months pregnant for her husband, Ed Schneider. Anna was lying in bed when she was awoken to a dark figure standing above her, and then unfortunately bashed in the face repeatedly to the point that her scalp was peeling back.
Gosh.
Yes.
With what? The back of an axe.
Bro, you want to take a wild guess. I
Give me
want
three.
each one of y'all to take a wild guess.
3 guesses. First 2 don't count.
So it was apparently it wasn't the back of an axe.
No.
Oh, nice.
The back of something else?
Justin, do you want to take a guess?
A frying pan.
No. Please get close to the mic whenever you say your guess.
Shovel.
A shoe. No.
Close.
That's a hard shoe.
But no.
Steel toe boot.
Jairus is cheating. You might want to hide your homework over there.
Oh, no, it's okay. I'll put what it is later on down. Yeah.
Bet.
A lantern.
No, but that is very close.
Really?
Dude, she was struck repeatedly in the face with a lamp.
That was, yeah.
A
That was
lamp?
Yes.
That's-
So you
that's
have to think,
insane,
back
dude.
in the day, dude, like those lamps, the
Solid.
base of
Solid.
the lamp, solid
Solid.
brass, dude. So he's just gone and just, pummeling her in the face. And remember, she was 8 months pregnant, dude.
Wild.
Yes. So, like I said, her scalp was starting to peel back, and her face, as you can imagine, was covered in blood from the attack. Anna was found sometime after midnight because her husband Ed was working late then.
They have
Like-
something against women.
Yeah. So Ed Schneider, as he returned late from work that evening, Anna claimed that she couldn't recall anything from the attack. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. This attack didn't send her into labor. Surprisingly enough, no. Like 2 days later, after getting absolutely mauled with a lamp, she gave birth to a healthy baby. 2 days later, dude. Yeah,
What?
in the hospital, recovering from her face.
Still
and
surviving
scalp being peeled
this.
back. She survived.
Good God.
I'm glad these people are surviving this, but this guy sucks at killing.
I know. That's the.
What they say, they got some troopers back then, dude. I mean,
He has
I mean,
what, 5 victims so far, and
Yeah.
only
Yes.
2 died?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
This guy sucks.
He reminds me of the son of Sam, David Berkowitz.
Yes, I'm the son of Sam. The dog's telling me to do everything. So, anyways, it's just, dude, it's strange that it didn't send her into labor and that the
Yeah.
baby was healthy. Because, like, all the stress and stuff like that, you would think that she would have given birth that
Right there.
night.
Yeah.
Right there.
Apparently getting beat with a lamp isn't stressful enough.
Exactly.
Yeah, no.
So, on the day that her daughter was born, which I could not find the birth date, but, like I said, let's see, August 5th, so she was born on the 7th. The high for that day was 94 degrees Fahrenheit, and the low was 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Yeah, you're welcome.
Good range. A little hot. Good range.
Yeah, thought that I would drop that in. Anyways, the strange part was that the only thing that was stolen. Now remember, for the other cases, nothing was stolen.
Nothing.
$6 was stolen from Ed's wallet.
He needs some cigarettes.
But-
Needed a
Yeah.
bus fare.
But investigators did not find an axe or a hatchet and concluded that it was not
Axeman.
the axe or the hatchet, that he had used something else. They found a lamp. Like I said earlier.
Dun, dun, dun.
A lamp. Ba-da-ba. So, anyways, like in the previous cases, someone who was just there, passing on the streets because New Orleans finest couldn't.
Got arrested.
Yeah, got arrested. A1 James Gleason.
I'm imagining them up there in the apartment.
Yeah.
You need to find
They
who
look
did it.
through the window
They
and
look
just
out
see
the window.
somebody
It's
walking.
him.
It's
Hey, that was him. He always
Did
returns.
I see the crime?
So this is the thing. They arrested James Gleason. Now, James Gleason was an ex-convict.
Oh, Lord.
I ain't going back.
He was picked up after Anna was found, but later released due to a lack of evidence. Who would have thought?
Wow.
Who would have thought?
Shocking.
Proving, literally a lack of evidence proving that it was him. Big surprise. And I know that that's stunning.
Dude was coming to the grocery
Why
store.
they don't just arrest the Gualons at this point?
Exactly.
Dude was just up to the store to buy a gallon of milk and he's getting arrested
Yeah,
for murder
dude.
or attempted murder.
And that's the thing. Like,
You just assured me that I could speak.
I'll sit down inside the car. We're not assuring anything. We're under arrest.
Look, I'm under what?
Come on.
Gentlemen, this is Democracy Manifest.
and that's the thing. Like, investigators are now starting to piece things together and connecting each incident. I cannot talk. Good Lord.
Sorry.
They're
One
thank
more
you.
time.
They're
Okay.
connecting each incident to the aforementioned case of the Maggios
We got there.
and
We've
the
got-
Besmer case. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Golf clap.
So, guys,
All right,
we
that's enough.
are
Stop it.
we are at 5 victims now. Only 2 died.
Yeah. Not too hot.
Exactly. So
You should start using the other side there. I'm sorry, that's bad to say.
good lord.
Dude's like 40%.
So what we've learned in modern day serial killer, sciences and stuff like that, what we've learned is that typically with this many victims, usually the serial killer is either caught or they are starting to gain traction in a case. And to that I say, nope.
Nope.
Not at all.
Is he even considered a serial killer at this point? He only killed 2
A serial attacker right now.
So are these people like sleeping or something that they don't? Well, 2 of them, or the last lady was not.
So I'll get to that.
Okay.
Later on in the cases, they start realizing how he's getting in and not being noticed. Because you would think if you hear someone break in,
Yeah.
you would immediately be alerted, you would be aware,
Right.
and you would be ready to defend yourself. But like I said, I digress. I will get
These
to it.
people were sleeping.
Yes, they were sleeping.
melatonin being
Oh
used.
yeah.
So on to the next victim, gentlemen. Joseph Romano. Just like the previous victims, Joseph was lying down in his bed when he was bludgeoned in the head twice before his 2 nieces, Pauline Bruno, Pauline Bruno and Mary Bruno. Both nieces rushed up to their uncle's room after hearing a loud thud and groans, only to find their uncle on the floor with 2 open cuts on his head. They then notified the authorities and Joseph was taken away from the scene. He passed 2 days later due to severe head trauma.
Damn.
Yes.
Blunt force again.
So, 3. That's 3 victims who passed away.
To have some little kids find that.
When does Ray Romano
His
come into
nieces.
this?
Well, this is 1918, so it's gonna be a while.
I mean, I know their nieces are young, but
Yeah.
did they not hear him running out?
That's the thing, they didn't. So his nieces ended up finding him. Now his nieces, it varies in story about
man's
how
running in socks.
old they were, but they range from the age of 18 to 28. So they would have been old enough
Oh,
to
so
be
these
able
were
to
older. Okay.
Yeah, like Joseph was elderly,
Hmm.
So anyways, like I said, he passed away 2 days later in the hospital due to severe head trauma. So this is where we see a differentiation in witness statements. Pauline and Mary both gave distinguishing descriptions of the assailant, stating that he was a dark-skinned, heavy-set man who wore a dark suit and a slouched hat. This is way more information than what anybody else is given, especially Harriet Lowe, who's saying, her Matu's a
Right.
freaking German spy. All those things. So, the thing is, their home had been ransacked, yet no items were taken, just like the previous case, minus Anna Schneider's case, where $6 were taken from Ed's wallet.
He needed new gloves.
Yeah. However, authorities did find a bloodied axe in the backyard, as well as a panel on the back door being chiseled away. Glass panel was chiseled away, so this man is literally going there and chiseling at the glass so he could climb through the door. And you won't really hear that, especially if you have a glass knife.
Yeah.
Cut that. That's the thing. So, in conclusion of this instance, what followed is a state of extreme chaos in the city of New Orleans, with its citizens living in constant fear every night of the Axeman striking. Their homes next. Striking their homes next. All kinds of reports were flooding into the NOPD stating that they had seen the killer creeping around neighborhoods across the city. A few men also called in and stated that they found axes in their backyards which didn't belong to them. Now, we have an interesting personality who enters the scene. John Donatino. Now, John, prior to the Axeman, was a retired Italian detective in which, after reviewing the cases, hypothesized that the Axeman may be connected to several individuals who became cold cases in 1911. Detective Donatino described the Axeman as being an individual with split personalities. This is the part that fascinates me the most, because the justice system did not necessarily profile people until the 1960s. So this man was 50 years ahead,
Yeah.
you know, psychologically profiling. And he ended up saying that the Axeman could be a law-abiding citizen who has split personality disorder, similar to Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, but he feels this overwhelming sense that he needs to kill.
Dude, that'd be wild.
You know?
That'd be wild.
Exactly.
Didn't
you
he
know?
have another one like that was similar to split personality?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm
few
sure there was a
cases.
couple of them.
Mhm. There was a few cases to it. I mean, like the Conjuring movie, The Devil Made Me Do It.
Yeah.
And the Amityville Horror. You know?
Right.
I know you showed us a map, but is there like,
oh yeah,
is it like scattered on the map, or there's like
Yeah,
a
no,
line of
it's-
where he's going?
No, it's scattered around the map. Like it almost looks like.
So he didn't start from like here and then work his way.
No. Like it would have curved, then came back around and just did like that. Like
Right.
there's 11 different sites of where he went, and then later on down the road, like I'll get to it, but later on down the road it expands elsewhere. So following the Joseph Romano case, it seemed as if the Axeman took a break, but you're both right and wrong at the same time. He did take a break, but he also didn't. You know? So the next time the Axeman delivered his fatal blow was on the night of March the 10th, 1919. And who, you may ask, did he strike next? None other than yet another Italian family.
Man, he didn't take much of a break.
No, it was like a almost 6-month break.
Yeah.
Doing on vacation.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
So he ended up striking yet
Reevaluate.
Italy.
Evaluate his life choices.
Another Italian family, the Cartamiglia family. Okay. Now, this is where things really pick up, because the attack, I would consider the Axeman going berserk or ballistic during this attack. On the night of March the 10th, Charles Cartamiglia, his wife, Rosie Cartamiglia, and their infant daughter, Mary Cartamiglia, were all attacked by the Axeman at their residence on the corner of Jefferson Avenue and 2nd Street in Gretna. This was a New Orleans suburb, by the way. The grocer Lorlando is his name. Lorlando. Orlando, put an L in front of it. Lorlando. That would be how you spell it. Orlando Giordano ran across the street after shrieks and screams were heard coming from the Cartamiglia residence. He was the first on the scene to discover the family and the aftermath of the Axeman's terror.
They arrested
Now,
him.
this is also where, if you are sensitive to children being hurt, you know,
Yeah, that's pretty rough.
tune it down, or, you know, take a break, stuff like that. If you have to turn it off, I apologize, but anyways, it would do an injustice if I didn't give the
Correct.
details, you know. So Charles and Rosie had both suffered skull fractures from blows caused by the back of an axe, which investigators later found on the back porch of the Cartamiglia family home. Unfortunately, baby Mary passed away in her mother's arms after sustaining blows to the back of the neck. So her mom was actually holding her and trying to protect her. The axe came around and just...
Bruh. That's rough.
Yeah. So, like I said, he's not using the sharp part of the axe. He's using the blunt side of it. So it would take significant force to kill somebody.
Still wild that he's using the back. There's
Really,
so
though.
many weapons you can
that's
use
nuts.
that are made for blunt force. That
Exactly. Charles and Rosie were both transported to the hospital. Investigators also found that the panel to the back door was chiseled away. To the similar to the other cases, as stated before, Charles was later released from the hospital 2 days later, but interestingly, with the case shortly after Rosie gained consciousness, she made claims that Giordano and her 18-year-old son Frank were the ones responsible for the attack. Now, something I want you guys to think about is that when I give you the following descriptions of Lorlando and Frank, I want y'all to think, how could they possibly have done this? At all. Lorlando was a 69-year-old man who literally required assistance just to do day-to-day things.
Right.
You know, and Frank, his 18-year-old son, was over 6 feet tall and weighed 200 pounds. How do you want either one of them to get through a back panel of a door?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And be quiet.
Yeah.
And be quiet.
Oh, yeah. So, Frank would have been too tall and too wide to fit through a panel. Lorlando would have been too old and fragile to go through the panel, much less swing an axe.
Had that kind of force.
Yeah, exactly.
So the son is chiseling the window, putting the dad through. He's opening the door.
I don't think neither one of them had the
Yeah.
strength
No.
to do that.
So that's it's about to get really upsetting because of this, but because of the sheer incompetence and neglect of New Orleans' finest yet again, both Frank and Lorlando were arrested and charged with the murder. Oh yeah,
What?
and charged with the murder of baby Mary.
Wow.
Yeah,
How did
Where's
they charge
the
them?
Italian guy? The Italian policeman.
he never popped back up in the story. Like
Really?
he just reviewed the cases and said what he thought. You know. So, and if given time, I have 100% certainty that they would have been charged with the previous murders as well, but I digress. Both men were found guilty in the witch hunt kangaroo court one-sidedness against, you guessed it, Italians yet again, and Frank was sentenced to be hung to death publicly.
Good God.
What?
Oh, yeah. And Lorlando, 69-year-old man, was sentenced to life in prison with the remaining years that he did have.
Which probably ain't much at that time.
Yeah. So that's upsetting,
wild.
right?
Yeah, that's wild.
What?
Upsetting? Y'all upset?
Yeah. I mean, once again, pulling out of a hat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they were only there because they rushed.
Because they rushed to go
'cause
help.
they heard.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how much do y'all love karma?
Oh, I love it.
How much do y'all love?
Especially for somebody that deserves it. I love it.
Oh man, karma is such a sweet, sweet mistress.
Is this where 19?
Please tell. Please tell us.
Oh. Charles divorced Rosie shortly after the sentencing of Frank and Lorlando because Rosie admitted to falsely accusing them.
What?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Falsely accusing them out of spite and jealousy. Luckily, Frank and Lorlando were released from prison, and her spite and jealousy was all due to Frank and Lorlando's success with their grocery store, because they are also Italian grocery.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So she would rather falsely accuse these people and watch them be killed.
Yeah.
She'd rather have an 18-year-old kid hung publicly for something he didn't do.
Oh yeah. My
And
favorite
an
part's
old
coming
man
up. Like,
Right,
go ahead.
spend the rest of his life in prison.
Yes.
They should have arrested her for. If they would have hung him, they should have arrested her for murder.
For murder.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
At least she admitted to it before they. Oh,
Right.
Oh boy.
Right.
Yeah. Now this was literally, I would venture to say, because it's conflicting accounts of it. What you guys have to realize is that with this research, the only reliable source was the Times-Picayune. Because like with the Delphine Lalaurie story, other newspapers were covering it. Okay? But some of the other newspapers, like I said, with the Delphine Lalaurie story, were all puff pieces. Like the New Orleans Bee and stuff like that. So they made these stories way more brutal than what they were, and just all this different stuff. Now, this is my personal favorite part. We finally come upon the letter that the Axeman sent out. Okay, now it's time for the spooky dooky occult stuff that the infamous Axeman letter. So, dear listeners, I will read it verbatim of what the Axeman wrote directly to the people of New Orleans. Okay?
Dear Rosie, stop trying to steal my thunder.
No.
This is a part that I'm familiar with.
Oh, it's amazing. I love it.
Alex serenaded me with this.
Yes.
Late at night.
Okay.
It was
So
beautiful.
at this point, please, dear listeners, put your lights down, light a candle, grab yourself something to drink. Take your console off if you have to.
Oh, make sure you take that off.
The Axeman wrote this letter from hell. March 13th, 1919. And he starts it off, esteemed mortal. They have never caught me, and they will never. They have never seen me, for I am invisible. Even as the ether that surrounds your earth, I am not a human being, but a spirit and a demon from the hottest hell. I am what you Orleanians and your foolish police call the Axeman. When I see fit, I shall come and claim other victims. I alone know whom they shall be. I shall leave no clue except my bloody axe be smeared with blood and brains of he whom I have sent below to keep me company. If you wish, you may tell the police to be careful, not to rile me. Of course, I am a reasonable spirit. I take no offense at the way they have conducted their investigation in the past. In fact, they have been so utterly stupid as to not only amuse me, but his satanic majesty, Francis Joseph, etc. But tell them to beware. Let them not try to discover what I am, for it were better that they were never born than to incur the wrath of the Axeman. I don't think there is any need of such a warning, for I feel sure the police will always dodge me, as they have in the past. They are wise and know how to keep away from all harm. Undoubtedly, you Orleanians think of me as a most horrible murderer, which I am, but I could be much worse if I wanted to, if I wished. I could pay a visit to your city every night, and at will, I could slay thousands of your best citizens, for I am in close relationship with the angel of death. Now, to be exact, at 12:15 earthly time on next Tuesday, I am going to pass over New Orleans. In my infinite mercy, I am going to make a little proposition to you people. Here it is. I am very fond of jazz music, and I swear by all the devils in the nether region that every person shall be spared in whose home a jazz band is in full swing. At the time I have mentioned, if everyone has a jazz band going, well then, so much the better for you people. One thing is for certain, and that is that some of your people who do not jazz it out on that specific Tuesday night, if there be any, will get the axe. Well, as I am cold and crave the warmth of my native Tartarus, and it is about time I leave your earthly home, I will cease my discourse, hoping that thou wilt publish this, that it may go well with thee. I have been, am, and will be the worst spirit that ever existed, either in fact or realm of fantasy, signed the Axeman, published by the Times-Picayune.
Wow.
Yes.
So you would have been hearing the jazz music playing from Grand Isle if it
absolutely.
was my house.
Dude should have been an author.
Yeah, really.
Instead of a
Phenomenal.
murderer.
And dude, that's the crazy part. That letter single-handedly contributed to one of the longest streaks that New Orleans has ever had without a murder. Consecutively. 144 days consecutively without a single murder.
You think they had somebody in their house whenever he said people? Probably like, you people? What do you mean, you people?
Oh my goodness. No,
That movie didn't come out yet.
You know,
I know. Thunder was not a thing yet.
that's even. It's even sadder that the
So-
record for consecutive days without a murder in New Orleans is 144.
Yeah. So for the time, that was the
Yeah.
longest amount of time. You know, because you got to think where we were on what, the 6th, 7th
Yeah.
victims, almost 8 victims. You know, and that's just one after another break, one after another break, one after another break. You know, but I ask y'all this: how many times have y'all gone to New Orleans and not heard jazz music playing?
I don't think ever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not really.
Exactly.
Many times at all.
Do y'all think that people still to this day they'll continue to play jazz music?
Probably, because I mean,
Oh, yeah.
they haven't been.
Oh, yeah.
That hasn't been caught.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the weird part about it. Dude, there was a whole song that was written because of this letter. Yeah, a whole song. They had people who could afford it that would have full jazz bands come and play in their house. Full jazz bands. If you couldn't afford a jazz band, you played a jazz record. If you couldn't afford a jazz record, you played your own instruments. If you could afford an instrument. If you couldn't afford an instrument, you went to a dance hall where they had hundreds of people that were there all night with the jazz bands playing all night, dude, so that nobody died. 144 nights consecutively, dude.
Sound like it was a good time to be a jazz player.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. You made bank, dude.
So this may be a dumb question, but was like New Orleans is pretty prominent with jazz. Was jazz in New Orleans prominent at this point?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Okay, I was about to say it'd be
Yeah.
crazy if it's because of this. That's
No.
why.
Do
But
you
it was
have-
already in
Do you
full
have the
swing
name of
already.
the song that was written?
Yeah, actually, I do. It's at the
Oh,
end. I'll
Oh,
reference
yeah.
it at the end.
I was just curious.
Yeah. So the next victim following the Cartamiglia family is Steve Boca. On the night of August the 10th, 1919, the highs for that day, 92 degrees Fahrenheit, and the low was 72 degrees Fahrenheit.
Nice.
The humidity was high, some would say muggy. Steve Boca's case is similar to that of other cases that I've mentioned before. He was attacked in his sleep in the night by a dark looming figure standing over him in his bed. Boca regained consciousness. Boca ran to the street to investigate the intrusion and found that his head was cracked open. You know, you have pure adrenaline rushing and he's just going. You know, so he ended up going to his neighbor Frank's house, completely different Frank. Went to his neighbor Frank's house, which he later lost consciousness and collapsed on his doorstep. Yet again, nothing was taken from the house, as well as the panel for the back door being chiseled away. All signs of the Axeman were present. Now, this incident was the first occurrence after the release of the infamous letter. After the Steve Boca incident, the next victim who followed was Sarah Lauman. On the night of September the 3rd, 1919, Sarah Lauman was attacked in her apartment. Sarah also lived alone, causing her neighbors to become concerned whenever she didn't answer the door. They immediately broke the door down to find the 19-year-old Sarah unconscious, as well as missing several teeth. So he bashed her in the face so hard that teeth were literally coming out. Yeah, it was later found that the Axeman climbed through an open window in Sarah's apartment and left through the same open window. A bloody axe was found in the front lawn of the apartment complex, and Sarah later recovered from her injuries, yet could not recall a single detail from the attack. Now we get to the final recorded attack of the Axeman.
I wonder if there's any politicians at this time in New Orleans saying, "Oh, we gotta ban axes."
That would be
Because they're-
hilarious.
I mean, they're doing it with guns now.
Yeah, you're not
It's
wrong.
the axe's fault, not the
Yeah,
person's
yeah,
fault.
yeah, absolutely.
The axes are killing people.
Mhm.
I mean, are hurting people. Sorry, they're not killing them.
Oh, it's okay. We said
Wanna
kill,
kill the
I
couple.
said killed so many times. You know, this episode
Oh.
will 100% be explicit.
Oh, no. He means we saying killed, but
Oh,
he's
yeah.
only killed like 4 people.
Yeah. Yeah, about 4 people.
4 out of 11 or 4 out of 10 as right now, I think.
Yeah, yeah. So this is the 11th.
Yeah, this
All
guy
right.
has not.
The final recorded Axeman attack took place on the night of October 27th, 1919. A one Mr. Mike Pepitone.
Jelly.
That was his final victim.
Was the last lady grocery store something?
No, she worked at a grocery store. Yeah.
This dude just doesn't like grocery stores.
That's what I'm thinking.
I
Watch him
think-
be a farmer.
I think it's just somebody who owns big grocery and fucking just doesn't want
Possible.
small
Yeah.
Really.
Italian grocery.
When was Walmart
You're putting us
founded?
out of business. It's like Big Pharma.
when would their lizard people bring coming down here?
So Mike Pepitone was his final recorded victim besides the speculations that followed after the Axeman, because I'll get into that. So Mike's wife had awakened in the middle of the night, Mary Pepitone. So she woke up in the middle of the night when she heard a strange noise throughout the house. So she went to her husband's bedroom because at this time, most couples didn't sleep in the same room, much less the same bed. So she went into her husband's bedroom, and before opening the door, she saw, as you can guess, a large axe-wielding man who was fleeing the scene. The scene which she was met with was numerous blood splatters covering the majority of the room, including a painting of the Virgin Mary. Now you would think that the mother of 6 may have been able to give more of a detailed description of the Axeman, being that she saw him fleeing the scene. Sadly though, she could not. She couldn't remember anything besides the aforementioned details in the other cases. So a mixed amount of details. Some people said that it was a mixed person. Some people said that it was, a German spy. That kind of crap. But yeah. So that ends the Axeman's victims. That's it.
Did
Wait,
the
hold
last
on.
one die?
Mike
What?
passed away, yeah.
What years was this? That one again?
1919.
Okay, so World War One was just ended.
Yeah,
I can
Yes.
see why they were saying German spies.
Yeah.
that's what I was.
Because that's the part that's been confusing me the whole time. It's like, German spy? I keep thinking. But
Yeah.
I had to remember that we in early 1900s. And
So there are some conspiracies that ended his reign of terror in New Orleans, but there are some other conspiracies that say that he moved on to take more lives around the state, going as far as Lake Charles, Shreveport, stuff like that, outside of New Orleans, going all the way as far as California. Because one of the survivors, she was an Italian grocer. She moved to California. Rosie moved to California, married someone out in California. She passed away in California due to an axe murder.
Really?
Yes. Yep.
Correct.
So some people
baller.
say that she was taken out by the Axeman in California. But on the other hand, there are conspiracies surrounding this case from all fronts. Some about the Axeman being a hitman for the Italian mafia in New Orleans, and the victims being Italian immigrants who are indebted to the crime syndicate, as well as it not being a singular Axeman, like I told y'all in the beginning. But Axemen, to be more precise, as well as it genuinely being a spirit.
Yeah.
Imagine Rosie going to California. She was killed by an Axeman, not the
Yes.
Axeman. Imagine if it was, what was the son's name? Frank?
Frank? Yeah.
Imagine if it was him.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, sweet.
Hunt her down
sweet
to
revenge.
California and be like, you blame me?
Mhm.
Yeah,
So this
Now I'm him, you know?
this is kind of the airiest part, but
I
this
think
is
it's big grocery.
bro. This is the closest that Louisiana ever has or ever will be to having our own Jack the Ripper,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly what
Or-
it sounds like.
the Zodiac.
Mm-hmm.
He was never caught to this day, well over 100 years later.
And they have no idea. Like,
Yeah.
None.
And the hardest part about researching all of this was finding all the genuine facts and distinguishing them from the fluff pieces, like I said, because some of the newspapers just blew them out of proportion. You know, putting out, like I'd mentioned earlier, similar puff pieces to Delphine Lalaurie.
I mean, plus most of them are Italian, so they second-class citizens at this point, so they really don't care.
Nope.
Unfortunately.
Yep, and that's the thing. So, in conclusion, the Axeman has been referenced in countless instances, from movies to TV shows to music videos, and I think there's even a video game that has the Axeman in it. You know, but I will name one in particular. It's a song written at the peak of his reign of terror called The Axeman's Jazz, also referred to as Don't Scare Me Papa, by Joseph John Devalier. So after this ends and you're winding down after that absolute wild ride, put yourself in a New Orleanians mindset of 1919. Put that song on, light some candles, grab you a beer, and try to survive the night. You know, not having the Axeman coming in, looming over you, and just whopping you in the head with the back of an axe.
The back of an axe. That still blows me away.
Know. So, thank you all for listening. You know, that was the Axeman of New Orleans.
Good job, bud.
Oh, hey, didn't see you there. Thank you for making it to the end of the episode. Greatly appreciated. Don't mind my, shower in the background, still doing some renovations and everything, but besides the point. Thank you for making it to the end of the episode. We greatly appreciate it. Also, if you're not subscribed, subscribe. Like it. Drop us a comment. If you think that we got something wrong, drop it in there and we'll cover it in a revised or redux episode, or we'll respond to you. Either way, your comments are being heard. Like that one person that I made them throw their earbuds across the room because of the ASMR of walking through the swamp, That. Besides the point, we would like to tell all the viewers thank you. None of this would be possible without you guys. Also, the higher order, really appreciate you guys sponsoring us. But just an update, on April the 11th, we're actually going to Cajun Country Paracon. Okay, it's going to be in Lafayette. We're going to have an exclusive design t-shirt just for Paracon. And you guys are going to want to get out there and come support us, support Paracon, and everything that they have going on. This t-shirt is exclusive just for Paracon. Come to Paracon to get the t-shirt. You'll also get a few other goodies and be entered into a raffle to win a big old poster, dude. Big old poster. Signed by all of us. Hang it up in your office, hang it up in your room, or if you're making a shrine to us, it's kind of weird. Hopefully you have your console on. If you don't know what console is, it's your underwear. Hopefully you have your underwear on while you have this altar going on. But anyways, I digress. Thank you for making it to the end of the episode. It means a lot to us. Like, comment, subscribe, share us if you want, dude. Put us on your Facebook. Let people know how weird you are listening to us bunch of weirdos on the internet explain Louisiana history to you. So yet again, thank you. It means the world to us.